Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is a video that I hadn't planned on making. I ended up getting distracted. So you probably saw my short, which is up here, that I posted earlier in the week about a Vue.js Convex Capacitor application that I built. And how, since the documentation that was provided was only on React, I kind of rolled my own authentication. And I'll release the source code for that and everything. But after I was looking at some more videos from Convex yesterday, I saw the video where you can just, with one line, generate a React application. And in generating that React application, you actually get auth. So what I did was I generated that application and tested it and saw how auth worked. And then I said, how can I convert the React-specific components that exist into Vue-specific components, so then I can get the benefits of the core Convex authentication that's sitting on top of AuthJS, which gives me a whole bunch of other services, and just move it over to Vue. So that's the rabbit hole I went down yesterday and late last night. Used a lot of cursor to basically read through the React project, figure out what was the stuff I needed, what was the stuff I didn't need, and basically how to convert that React stuff to the appropriate Vue.js composables. And that's how I ended up with the solution. And then in the end, because my goal was to get it on device, I incorporated Capacitor. And so that's how we now have this. This is the same example, but written in Vue that gets generated from React, running on two different devices with the data syncing. So you can see the random numbers here as I click here and change the random numbers on the Android device. They're updating over here on the iOS device. And as I update over here on the iOS device, they're updating on the Android device. You can see that I'm authenticated. I'm logged in. I just saw a bug because this should not say anonymous. So I'll have to fix this before I release the source code. And also, I am releasing the full source code for all of this so that you can kind of dive in and take a look. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to spend a little bit of time walking through the project that I've created that we all will have access to. So if you like this kind of content, please make sure you like and subscribe. Also, definitely leave comments on some things that you might want me to take a deeper dive on. For one, I've only done email password authentication. Well, let me kind of show that. So I'm signing out. And let me log back in. You can see it's not fully mobile because how it's kind of zooming in and everything. I'll probably clean this up with daisyui before. Actually, I'll release it, but then I'll clean it up also. So let me log back in so you can see how that works. So you can see as soon as I logged in, I got the random numbers and I can start changing them and it goes across to the Android device. But I'm probably going to have to fix this UI beforehand. I think that's good enough. So now let's take a look at the project. All right, so this is the GitHub repo. Like I said, it will get released along with the video. I tried to generate, like I say, it's so easy to generate documentation now using AI tools that I kind of might have gone a little bit overboard here. So you can see I have this README that's completely updated, a tremendous amount of detail on what the app is, what the components are. This is where you can see this Convex dev is the Convex authentication library. It has all these other providers that are included in it. And this Convex Vue core is what I use to get the reactivity stuff, which is how you see the two applications updating as you change one. This lists the features that are in here. Talk a little bit about the configurable storage and what happened there. The approach that the authentication is using is that it's generating short-lived tokens, and so it'll pass along a short-lived token along with a refresh token. And we're storing that in local storage on the web because the solution will run on the web. But on devices, we're using Capacitor secure storage, which basically is secure local storage on device. It's secure local storage on device. We'll go into a little bit more detail later on it. The application is currently written will determine if you're on the web or not and use the appropriate storage. The UI update we talked about. Yeah, here's what I was trying to say before. When you use Capacitor or on a mobile device, it will store the refresh token and the token in the keychain and on Android, it'll store it in shared preferences, so it's a little bit safer. This is the basic installation instructions and how you get the project set up. One thing that kind of tripped me up early on is down in the bowels of in this auth dev library, they use they need a JWT private key. So that's why that's added here. These two other values you'll get by default when you set up your Convex application, when you set up your Convex backend. This is a utility that they use to generate the keys. You can use it for your private key. And then I kind of walked through some of the changes that I had to make to the code to get everything to work correctly. But once again, all the code's here. It's not fully documented here. But if we open up one of the files, so let's look at this one. This is a convexauth.ts. So let's go up here, convex. I've tried my best to make sure we put the appropriate documentation in that you need for everything. This is the Convex Auth, how it's set up. We're the only provider that we're using as a password provider. Let's go back to the README. So I'm not going to go through this line by line. I'm just going to stay very high level based on what's provided in the README. And then I'll do deeper dives if folks ask for that type of information. All right. So here we talk about some of the composables that I needed to write to kind of balance out what was missing when we ported it from React. And they're kind of broken down here. Once again, this is also documented very well. This is the main composable that manages the authentication around the JSON Web Token. This is how we get the reactive queries working, and we're leveraging the Convex View package as provided. This is a composable that was written that detects if you're on mobile and will use the secure storage, and if you're on web, it'll use local storage. This is the default component that came from the original application, React application that got ported to Vue, and same with this content thing here. We covered all the key features already. This is the layout of the project structure, so you kind of know where everything is. I tried to use Vue.js standards here to make it kind of clear. What else here? This kind of explains how we've set up the not the check, but how you can use different type of storage packages. So you can write your own, if you want to use a different, if you want to write down here, if you want to use your own custom storage, you're able to write your own custom storage and pass it in the configuration. These are keys on how the information will be stored in your storage. There's the auth token and a refresh token. Once again, this is covering how we created this composable to get our reactive queries. For those who are used to TAN-stack query, similar behavior, you have this composable that can make the call, and then you have these references that get updated with the data as the data come through. You get something similar with your mutations, and the key benefits are the same: real-time sync, automatic updates, optimistic updates, error handling, and I ensure type safety. I use Mermaid to generate these architecture diagrams for those who like that kind of stuff, to get a deeper look at how everything is laid out and all the components. Here I tried to break down what we built and what kind of was given to us through Convex. So as you can see here, a lot of this was the stuff that I didn't want to lose, right? I wanted to bring this over from the Convex React solution because my assumption is that this stuff will continue to be supported. So I don't need to roll my own custom auth. I can just ride on top of theirs and just continue to enhance the Vue components that I created to support changes that are made with the Convex provided components. And up here are my custom components that I built, and we've already kind of covered the 3 core ones right here. And then third-party stuff, which is for Capacitor for mobile. If you just want to write a regular Vue app, you can kind of ignore all the Capacitor stuff I've done. In fact, the way it's set up, if you don't pass, there's a way to just initialize authentication without the Capacitor storage model. I kept it real simple: Vue, v, TypeScript. Here's a data flow diagram that kind of walks you through. Can I make this bigger? Let's see. Kind of walks you through the process of how the sign-in works. Kind of lists the components across the top so you can see the application flow. Talk about how we're storing the capacitor, and then how it's kind of updating this value to let you know whether it's authenticated or not. Here's a reactive query flow, the mutation flow. Probably should be a create user flow also, but it's not here. Here it is. Sorry, my bad. Here's a sign-in sequence for how you kind of create the user. So you provide the email and password. We use our custom useConvexAuth component. which calls an action from Convex that will basically sign in the user. So you can see Convex client, execute actions, call the Convex sign in, creates account, retrieves the session information, passes back the token, tokens come through, we set the auth, and then we save it in our storage. And then we query again Convex to get the current user, and we set some values on our composable. This, once again, talks about why I threw away my custom component and went back to Convex solution. My hope is, and I'll dig into it a little bit later, is that I can incorporate one of these other auth providers to show an example of how that works. And I'll definitely I'm going to do the magic link passwordless, and that'll also give me an opportunity to work on integrating resend with my application. I will probably try to dig into some of this role stuff too, because I think this is pretty interesting. I doubt I'll touch multi-factor auth, and I doubt I'll touch custom provider. Information on the environment variables that you needed. I have included in the project here an example. So where did it go? Example text so that you know what variables that you need to get this thing going. And what else is here? Because I want to keep this video relatively short. Let's see. We did talk about the token refresh strategy. Probably if I do more work on this, I'll move some of this out to environment variables. But there's a default setting on how long the tokens last before they get refreshed. But this kind of just explains how it does. Basically, what's going on inside the code is if it makes a query or an API call and it recognizes that the token has expired, it will refresh the token and try to make the API call again. You could probably go in and have a more advanced token refresh strategy if you want, where you actually check the expiration date, determine it's about to expire, refresh your token beforehand so you don't have to fail the API call. Your call. Try to keep this as simple as possible. And I think that is it. So is there anything that I really want to go through here? I think the rest of the code is, like I said, it's pretty much default. I didn't add anything. This is the code that comes over from the React example that supports updating the numbers and stuff on the view. No need to kind of go over that. Auth stuff, pretty basic. Like I said, this is just a viewport. Actually, this isn't even a viewport. This is just copying over the actual files that existed from the React example. So pretty much everything in this Convex directory is just copied over from the documentation and the existing examples on how Convex Auth works. Where the interesting stuff happens is when you come over to the Vue code and you look at the composables that are created, the auth config. This is the useCapacitor auth, which manages the local storage, determines what kind of device you're on. This is the juicy one. This is the one that manages all the auth. And like I said, I documented the hell out of it so that it should be pretty clear. So you can kind of read this and understand what's going on. You combine this with the mermaid diagrams in the front. I think it should be very helpful for you. Once again, any questions, concerns, drop an issue in the GitHub repo and I'll be happy to get to it. But that's about it. I know now in this day and age with AI that kind of these tutorial videos, some people can find them boring. So that's why I'm trying to find a new way to do them that people add value. And I'm trying to add value to the work that I've done in combination with AI by kind of just walking through it, explaining it in plain English, identifying pain points that I ran into so that you can try to avoid them. But once again, I'm going to wrap it here. Hopefully you find this helpful. Leave me a comment. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.